Hey, hello
Hey,
everyone. Welcome to Adobe Live. I am joined here by the amazing Andrea Davalos.
hey, hey, Julia.
Andrea is currently living and working in Prague, but she's from Mexico and she's just this amazing illustrator. And I'm so excited to see her workflow, how she works in Illustrator and Photoshop to create her amazing illustration work. You can see some of it in the background. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I'm super excited. And I have even forgotten to mention my name. My name is Julia Masalska, and I'm going to be your host for these 2 days of the live streams with Andrea. We are going to be working in Illustrator and Photoshop, and feel free to join us on be.net/live if you're joining us from YouTube right now. We're live, we're reading the chat, and we're also answering questions. So if you have any questions on illustration or Illustrator or Photoshop, feel free to join us there. Again, be.net/live. And I wanted to say welcome to everybody in the chat. We have Ferry, Caroline, Cindy here, Steve, Cody's here, and
Hi.
Chandru. Amazing people. Malini, hi, good to see you. Andrea, tell us a little bit more about yourself, what you're going to be working on
Cool.
today and tomorrow.
All right. So I guess a little introduction goes first. Like Julia said, I'm Andrea Davalos. I also go by Falduda in all of my social media and artist, like my artist name. I'm originally from Mexico, but I've been living in the Czech Republic for the last 9 years. I currently am the head of multimedia design for a company called Socialbakers that is based here. And I also love illustration. So I've always drawn. I feel like every creative person in the world will tell you that I've been drawing since I was a little girl. But yeah, it's true. And I drew a lot of inspiration from my family and especially from my grandfather, who was he was just a weird artist type. So he was a big influence with me for me as I grew up drawing. I currently switched mindset from being a general designer, or I know I did a lot of branding before, and now I'm very much into illustration. And most of the clients are myself. I don't have any big clients yet, but I really enjoy working on my own projects and my own creative briefs because I feel like that's a really good opportunity to enjoy the whole process and not have to worry about not respecting a brief or client feedback. So you can do it on your own pace, change the brief if you need to, and just have fun. So
Yeah. That's
that's
the
kind of
fun.
what we're going to
That's
be.
that's the fun of passion projects, right? You're your
Yeah.
own boss. You can do whatever you want. And I was also wanted to say quick welcome to Kirsty and Fabio saying hi, Julia and Andrea in the chat.
Hey.
Make sure to follow Andrea on Instagram to check out her work. Thanks, Cody, for posting the link in the chat. And Elizabeth is saying Mexico to Czech Republic. That move is very interesting.
It is, but Czech Republic now really feels like home. So
That's
it was
awesome.
tough at the beginning, but now it's just great.
Super cool.
So maybe I should tell you a little bit about what we're going to be working on today and show you a tiny bit of my work. So this is my Behance page. Like I said, currently I've decided to switch into doing more illustration work. So I'm slowly filling it up. We're going to be working on a project that will then be uploaded here. So we will be all able to go in and see the final product. This is my Instagram page. So if you want to go check out my work there, that would be
So
great.
cool. I love
Um,
it. I love it. I first met Andrea on Instagram and I just saw her work and I thought it was really unique and it always has some type of message in it. And some of the things are also COVID related, right?
Yeah, like where is it? This one I was so excited. I don't know if I can do this. I was so
Yeah.
excited to start COVID and be not start COVID, but at the beginning of lockdown, I was like, fine, I'm just gonna make stuff and be creative. And after a few days, I just was done. But that's the thing. We're still in the Czech Republic. Stores just opened today, actually. So we've been still in lockdown. And I am from Mexico. I consider myself to be from Yucatan, although I wasn't born there, but arriba Yucatan, mi corazoncito. And I really miss the beach. I need the sun, I need the beach, and we are landlocked at the Czech Republic. So I decided
Cool.
that I wanted to give myself a little visual vacation and create this project for a fake hotel called The Sunny, and it's somewhere in a tropical paradise. We don't know where. And we're going to create 3 destination postcards for this hotel. So that's what we're going to be working on.
Cool. Let's call it Future Hotel.
Okay.
Or
yeah.
imaginary hotel. Cool. We have some really cool compliments. Cody saying, love your colors, Andrea. Carolina
Thank
saying, I
you.
love your work. And Zachariah is saying, the page is so beautiful. And Malini is also saying, those colors. Wow. Cool. Everybody's in love with your work. And Carolina is also saying yes to passion projects. I totally agree.
Yes. So that's going to be one today. I don't know if we should get started or
let's get started.
Okay. Wait, I feel like my headphone is a bit strange this side. Whoop,
you're fine.
All right. So this is a blank document that I've already started. I Googled what's the average size for a postcard, and I think my brain is like set in centimeters. So that's what I'm going to do. And it was 14.8 by 10.5 centimeters. So that's what we have now. I usually start by sketching what I want to create. So today I have 3 sketches already prepared. Let me pull them out.
Awesome. Cody's saying cute idea with a hotel. Me too. I'm really excited to see what are you going to come up with.
It's going to be a little visual vacation, I hope. So I'm just going to show you really quickly the sketches I have for these postcards, and then I'm going to start with one of them and then move to the rest. So I was thinking maybe having a reference to a matchbox because it's really hot and it's kind of, fiery. We like this hotel. It's called The Sunny. It's going to be a bit of a merge with branding because I'm going to make a fake logo, but we're not going to spend that much time on that. I thought we would do one with an illustration of the actual hotel and a piece of the beach and a bit of tropical plants. And then the last one, I was thinking maybe a drink because margaritas. So those are my ideas.
Best drink for the summer, margarita.
I will be starting with the matches today. So what I'm going to do, I already have my document created. I'm going to drag it to my, it's way too big, but that's fine. We're going to scale it down.
Cool.
1 second, let's do that. All right, something like that. We can adjust it. So that's going to be my first layer. I'm going to kind of estimate. I'm going to lower the opacity so that I only see a little bit of it. There we go. So that's my first layer, and it's going to be called sketch. And I'm going to lock it. Now I'm going to open a new layer where I'm going to start vectorizing and tracing everything. So usually I try to be very clean with my layers, but after a few minutes, it just becomes a total mess.
And plus you're working for yourself right now, so you don't have no responsibilities, right? Exactly. You don't have to justify yourself in front of yourself. So
yeah. Oh, what am I doing? 1 second. I don't want to fill color. There we go. So yeah, if I have a client or if it's something for motion, then I make sure that all of my layers are super clean and organized. But I'm going to try, but we'll see what happens. I'm not going to commit to having super organized layers right now. We'll see. So I just start using basic shapes to trace everything out. I really like to build everything from basic geometric shapes. So yeah, I usually just go and kind of like calculate, always use smart guides to make sure that things are centered.
Oh yeah, do you want to show us what type of guides do you have open if you go into view? Because it's always really interesting to me. I love smart guides, but sometimes it's really confusing to me to have all the other ones on.
No, I only have smart guides. I feel like if I have too many guides or rulers, it kind of like breaks the process for me, or I start thinking too much. Yeah. So and then another thing that I guess I should mention, I have my color library set, and this is something that I've been building slowly. So every time I make something and there's a color that I like, or I made a cool combination, I just add it to my library. So we might be adding some new colors today as well.
That's so cool. And that also brings such a cohesiveness into your Instagram page, because if you look, you can see colors repeat, and then,
Yeah.
you know, it kind of all looks like it belongs together. So yeah, I love that. That's super cool.
Yeah. So I really love having a saved color library that I can always use. And yeah, that's Falduda. That's my username, and that's my fake name when I don't want to go by Andrea. So I like to have tiny round corners. So let's just do that tiny for now, and then see if we like it.
Awesome.
Another thing that is really important to me in my process is when I'm doing something, when I'm working on something, I like to distract my brain. So I usually, sorry, I don't want to have outlines. I'm gonna start filling in colors, and then later I might decide to change them if I don't like them. But for now, we're just gonna start randomly adding some colors. And sorry, I forgot about this, but my layer sketch, I'm just gonna bring it up so that I can always see what I'm doing. Yeah, I was saying that usually when I create something, I like to distract half of my brain. So I will do, what am I doing? There we go. I will watch TV at the same time. So it's my excuse for watching really bad TV, because I say that I'm distracting half of my brain so that I don't think too much about what I'm doing, and I don't judge it too much. I feel like we do that a lot.
That's so true. And you know, the challenge here is to find a show that's not too exciting, right? So you need some really, really boring show.
or some really I like some bad TV as well, which is
Bad
really
TV.
embarrassing.
What's bad TV for you? I'm curious now.
Well, it's a little bit embarrassing, but I like trashy TV, like reality TV.
Reality shows.
Because I don't have to think, you know, I can just like, I don't know, distract my brain. Like I said, I don't know if I'm distracting my brain now.
But that's really interesting, though. I don't think you have to be embarrassed about it at all. I think it's just, you know, a really cool technique to entertain yourself and to not judge your work too much, as you say. So, you know, it's all justified by creating amazing work. To be honest.
Yeah, let's say that.
Right.
I also had a teacher when I was in school. I had this painting teacher. He was this old, very influential guy in Mexico, and now this is embarrassing because I can't remember his name, but he would always be drawing, and as he was drawing, he was humming, and he was like doing things like that. And he said it was great. And then he said that was his way of bringing this up. That was his way of distracting his own brain so that he didn't judge what he was doing, and he would always produce better work. Yeah,
that's so cool. I love that.
All right, I'm gonna try to, so you can see that I'm using super basic shapes, like going as we go, moving layers, like bringing them up, bringing them back. I use Pathfinder a lot. I'm also not great with shortcuts because I never got used to using a keyboard, like a keyboard that wasn't from my laptop. So that's what I use. I think I need to change that soon, but not yet.
Yeah, that's shortcuts. I always find really tricky. Every time I learn a new shortcut, it's always like one shortcut in like a couple months. Yeah. And only then I'm able to really add it to my routine. Otherwise, it just like goes too fast for me. I'm not able to adapt.
Yeah, it takes a while.
It's so funny how it's actually so simple, but really to implement a shortcut into your routine, I think you really need to be like forcing it into that. But I found, you know, once you implement more and more shortcuts, your workflow really goes faster, and you can accomplish things faster before you start, you know, looking for something in the menu and clicking too much. Also, your hands can get really tired, you know, after a long day of work. So if you can accomplish things faster, that can be
I agree.
Yeah.
It just takes a little bit to get used to. But for example, all of the ones that have F something, I'm just not able to do them with my current keyboard. So I just, do it the old way. That's fine.
Sense.
I also recycle a lot of elements. So I made that match and just duplicated a million times. Well, not a million. I don't know how many these are. Something like that. So we have the sun. We will tackle the fake logo in a little bit. But I kind of want to start getting an idea of what colors I want to be using here. So I think we need a background color. So let's try that. All right. We can adjust that later. So I'm just going to send it to the back with Command Shift and
square bracket. Right?
There you go. I forgot what that was called.
Square bracket. I think it's called that way. That's how I would call it. If I would have to name the symbol, the square bracket, that's how I would call it. I'm not even sure if that's correct. So correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, please. That's how I call it.
Bracket.
But yeah, the square bracket open brings everything to the bottom, and square bracket close brings everything to the top, correct?
Yeah. Sometimes, to be honest, I have to do both and then see which one
works. Yeah, I do the same thing. That's so funny.
I do. It's the same with align. I never remember.
Yeah,
never.
I use the properties panel. Do you ever use the properties panel?
I don't think I do. Am I missing out?
Yes. So the properties panel always shows the things that you need to access first for the specific tool that you're using. So let's say you have selected multiple objects. The properties panel will show you the align tool right there on the right side where you have the libraries open right now. So definitely recommend trying that out. You can find it if you go into Window and then Properties. Yeah. So now try select a couple objects. So and now it will show you the Pathfinder already, like the alignment tool and everything. Yeah. Great. So all of these things always pop up. And if you, let's say, if you're working with text, it will show you all the character styles and text options. So that panel is always active for me. And then I have my libraries also accessible, but yeah, I don't always have them open. But yeah, it's, my gosh, the properties panel is just so gold. It's just like smart guides. It's something that I always kind of use. And by the way, for all of you who are new to Illustrator, you can totally customize your workspace and your experience. So you can set the tools that you want. On the left side, there is a little element at the bottom, those three dots. And if you click them, you'll be able to pull in or pull out tools that you want or do not want. So think of the left panel as being your toolbox, like a box that you can open and you can take out the tools that you need. Now you can pack your own toolbox. So you can select the different tools that you use the most, and you can access them really fast on the right side. And the ones that you don't use, for example, in my case, I don't ever use the chart tool. I never make charts in Illustrator. So I always have that deactivated, and then it will not kind of disturb me while looking for the right tool, right? So yeah, kind of organizing that a little bit better. And then on the right side, you can also but I believe at the top next to the little light bulb, you can access the different settings for different workflows. So there is automation, essentials, layout, painting, tracing, typography. So whatever you're working on, those settings usually are designed for you.
Sorry, I'm making a mess.
No worries.
I just want to yeah. Well, first of all, I forgot one of the most important things is that we need to save.
Yeah.
So I have a folder already for this project, and this is going to be called Postcard 1. And I'm just going to have it, here under the sunny and save.
Cool.
And I just, all right. Okay. I'm going to get back to it. before I lose it.
Cool. We have a question by Malini here.
All right.
Do you collect some references or inspiration before starting work, Andrea, or are you building any type of mood board, or or is it completely intuitive?
Most of the time it's intuitive. Sometimes I might be inspired by something I've seen. Like yesterday, I was walking around Prague and all of the buildings here are really beautiful. So I saw this building that had these old kind of carvings. I don't know how to explain them. They had this like Latin words and these like medieval carvings on them, and it looked like something magical, like a potion or something.
Oh, wow.
And I took a picture for it for inspiration for one of these postcards, actually. I should have pulled that out, but I didn't. Maybe I'll try to find it.
Cool.
But yeah,
no
I find inspiration in other places as well.
Mm-hmm.
So now what I'm going to do...
Do you use any inspiration sites online or anything where you kind of look at maybe illustration styles or anything like that?
I use Pinterest a lot, of course. I use Behance a lot for inspiration. And then I'm the kind of person that searches hashtags on Instagram. So I will always be searching. It's the kind of thing that when you have your phone, I will go search, I don't know, Adobe Illustrator or something, and I'll just find inspiration, see what people are doing, maybe see what kind of textures they're using. That's always very interesting to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's super cool. Awesome.
So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start looking for a typeface that I want to use. I'm going to start with this area around. It says it's hot, so hot. It's hot, so hot because it matches, right? So I have a couple of ideas of what to do with these. I just need to, let's just start testing it. So I'm going to do, I'm going to go to character, look at my fonts. Sometimes
Sorry. Go ahead.
Sometimes I just like to scroll down and look at the sample and just decide from that. So
yeah, and that's something quite recent. I think that they started showing the fonts right when you select them, which is the most, I think it's the most basic thing that you should be able to do, right? Preview the font that you want to choose. Definitely. So when Illustrator started doing that, I was like, yes. It's so awesome. And you can just preview the text that you've already typed, and then you can also go into the font library, so into the font kit, and select the fonts, activate them, and in your Illustrator, so you don't even have to go outside and into the browser. That's super cool.
All right, so I'm gonna start collecting a couple more. I'm thinking of something condensed, but let's see what we end up with. Da-da-da.
Awesome.
Let's try this. And did I feel like I already did? So let's go. By the way, Julia, do you know if there's a shortcut? I don't know if this is the right time for asking. When I'm on a text block and then I want to change to my arrow thing and I use Command V, but then it types. Stoop.
Okay, you have to click Escape V.
And then, oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, you have to escape. You have to click Escape. Otherwise, it will be typing into your. It will be a lot of V's.
Yeah,
happens to me sometimes. Yeah. And also the same thing goes for the pen tool. So when you're outlining and then you want to get out of the outlining of the pen tool and want to just, hover or zoom in, zoom out without the pen pulling another point, you can also click Escape on your keyboard.
Okay. Try to remember. How's that? All right. So let's try this. So I'm gonna center it. I'm gonna probably make it bigger. Let's see. I don't know if I'm into this, but give it a try.
Clever is saying, also, I have to remember to save my workspace settings. Very hard, except when reinstalling programs. Very handy, sorry, except when reinstalling programs. Yeah, you can create your own workspace and then save it. So you don't even have to use the generic workspace presets that we were talking about earlier. On the right top, next to the light bulb, there is this little window where you can preset your workspace. So you can really modify and, you know, set it up the way you want it, pin all of the tools wherever you want them, and then you can save it and reuse it. That's a really good one. Yeah, definitely.
Yep. I feel like I need to start making annotations on all of these shortcuts because I need to start using them more often. Need to get used to them. Hot, so hot, so hot.
Yeah. So what I saw helped for me, for example, when I printed out a sheet with all different shortcuts, and I would hang it right in front of my desk somewhere where I have my note board or something like that. And then I would always automatically look at them, and, you know, just in that moment where you're like thinking or doing something else and you're just like staring into nothing, and then you see those shortcuts and you're like, okay. And for some reason the brain registers them over and over, and then you start memorizing them. So that's another way. Cool.
So now I'm gonna do a bit of fake lettering, let's call it. We're not so fake, but we're not gonna be so accurate about it. We're just gonna trace it and then polish it a little bit. I hope that if any letterers are watching this, they don't cry.
Oh yeah,
fine, you know.
But it looks pretty good, to be honest. For the speed that you're doing it with, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll see. We'll see where it takes us. So I know I want a round cap, so I'm gonna go stroke, and I'm just gonna click on the cap, and I guess the corners as well while we're at it. So now where I have the basic shape or path that I want, I'm just gonna go and start making little edits to make it look a bit more polished. But again, I mean, I'm sure that a letterer could spend maybe 2 weeks doing this, and so it's just it's just gonna be a little quick one.
Cool. And for that, you're using the direct selection tool, right? Not the regular selection tool, but the direct selection tool. And then you're moving around the handles. And can you maybe show us like the basics of like what it does? I think that would be interesting for people who are just starting off. Not everybody outlines and does things like that yet.
I think that the pen tool, I'm sure everybody's heard this, but it's just like a lot of practice. But I think that you just need to get used to not being scared to move the handles. And then, you know, you don't get it right at the first time. So maybe if I wanted to make a circle or something, or some kind of like squiggly shape, I always have to go back, and so I go to A and then start adjusting the handles. But I always try to start with is it called like an open curve? So if I'm using the pen tool, I'm not going to start with a corner point. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I will always start with creating a curve.
Yeah. So that's that curve you achieve by clicking and dragging, right?
And dragging,
Yeah. Okay. And then you will create those handles that you are able then to adjust with the direct selection tool. And those handles, basically what they do is they determine the direction of the curve flow. And the closer the handles are to the point, the more the less curvy the point is, the more sharper the point gets. So that's how you can influence. And then you as Andrea said, you get a good feeling once you start experimenting with it. You will be able to adjust those a little bit better and get a feeling for the right flow of the curve, right? Yeah.
I think like people are scared of them. They're actually pretty fun. But yeah, this is what Julia was saying, that when you have the handles closer to the point, then it becomes more of a spike. Yeah. So we don't want that. We want it nice and curvy.
Nice and round. Yeah. Curvy. Cool.
Okay. What am I doing? Yeah, and then also you can do this, right? You can just move the curve directly if you click on the line. I find it a little bit trickier to achieve the result that I want, but sometimes I use it as well. So now I feel like has a little straight shape. So
Cool. And Simon is
okay.
saying, beautiful work, Andrea.
Thank you, Simon.
That's awesome. Yeah, and while we're talking about, lettering and how to use the pen tool and write something out, maybe we can jump into my iPad and I can show you all real quick how you can do some lettering on your iPad. Let's see. Yeah.
Oh.
So let us know in the chat who of you has so far used Illustrator on the iPad. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let me try and connect it. All right.
I think that doing work on Illustrator on the iPad I love it for when I'm traveling or when I'm on a train or just not in front of my computer. It's a great way to continue working.
Yeah, absolutely.
A ver, esto no me gusta.
So sorry, I have to quickly go here into my cable situation.
All right.
Sorry, guys. Looks like my cable was disconnected. All right. Cool. Yes. So we can jump onto my iPad now and let's take a quick look on how we can set up some things on the iPad. So if you haven't used the iPad for Illustrator yet, this is what it looks like. You can download it on the App Store. You can go and get the Illustrator from here, straight from Illustrator for iPad. There it is. And then you can download it. It's right here. And you can log in with your Adobe ID. So if you have the CC subscription with all apps, you'll have access to that as well. So here, as you can see, I have my file open, and the cool thing is now, so you can see the dots, those are my fingers, so when I'm moving around. And now what you can do here is also you can turn the artboard. So whenever you're sketching or doing something, some type of illustration and feel more comfortable, working horizontally, for example, you can adjust the artboard and kind of draw out your lines in a comfortable position. So we have some really cool updates for this, and I wanted to kind of share with you all a little bit of what's new. One thing that's new, and we were talking about, sizes, and here we already have the postcard set up. Here we have quite a different format for the postcard, but here we have all the different formats for whatever you want to create. So here we have the Hagaki format, which sounds like a poster format. We have the legal size. We have the A3, which is also a pretty standard poster size. Then we have a bunch of other presets that we can use. We can even design for web and so on. So those are super, super cool. And those are also available on the desktop. So feel free to check those out. Whenever you set up a file, there are a bunch of presets that you can use to kind of start setting it up in a useful way, and, either set it up for print or set it up for digital publishing. So one cool thing that we have here, and something that Andrea is actually doing right now, is we have these tools that is the pencil tool, or we have something that's called the blub brush tool. So what the pencil tool does, basically does the same thing that the pencil on the desktop does. So whenever you sketch, it basically creates a line. As you can see, if I'm zooming in, it creates a line that has an outline. But if we use the blob brush, what it does is it creates, oh, this is very zoomed in, but it creates a shape around the stroke. So basically what we have then is an outlined line. So when we draw something like this, it's already going to be an outlined line. So when I'm going to select the shape, I'm going to be able to see that it's not, you know, there's no center line that that is surrounded by an outline, but it's just straight up a shape that we're drawing with, right? So let's take a look at all the settings that we can do here. So for example, when I'm selecting the blob brush, I'll be able to select the chisel, round brush, flat, terminal brush, and there are more brushes coming, but for now I'm going to select the chisel, and I wanted to show you some of the settings. Oh yeah, there it is, it's already selected. And I can show you how you can kind of set it to adjust to your needs. And we can go here at the bottom into our brush settings. Here we can adjust the roundness of the brush. As you can see, if I move the handle around, I'll be able to adjust the roundness of it. But for now, I want to create some type of calligraphy style brush. Here I can adjust the angle of my chisel. Then I can also adjust the pressure dynamics, where I can determine, you know, how much pressure do I put and how thick the brush gets when I put pressure, just like when we're painting with a real brush. All right. And then this little wavy line here is our smoothness. So the smoothness allows to create amazing curves. So whenever we set the smoothness to the max, we'll be able to see that whenever I draw something, let me just zoom out a little bit. So whenever I'll be drawing something with max smoothness, Illustrator will be able to help me with the curves. So right now it doesn't look that perfect, but once I let go, you can see that Illustrator adjusts the curve and makes it more round and more smooth, right? So that we can use, for example, when we want to letter something. So let me try to draw some letters, maybe something like that. And you can see Illustrator helps me to really make something really, really cool. Let me kind of try to write something down. And those things you can then save as a cloud file. So now I can go in here into publish and export, and I can export the file, and I can also share it with my desktop, so I can save it. It's already actually saved as a cloud document by default. And another cool thing that I also love to do, and you can check out some of my past streams in Illustrator on my Behance profile. So if you go onto my Behance and into the live streams, here you can do a live stream. As you can see, start live stream. You can stream onto Behance and work live. So that's super, super cool. And then when we click publish and export, as you can see, we have different formats that we can export in. So if we have designed, let's say, a poster, it's going to be ready for print. We can set it to PDF or whatever file we want to. Maybe it's even a Photoshop file that we want to add texture to. We can save it as a PSD and then edit it, work with Photoshop on our desktop. Or we can just simply save it as an SVG file. For example, I like to do that when I'm designing logos and I want to save them as a vector. SVG is a vector format, so it's endlessly scalable. And so the interesting thing about working in Illustrator on the iPad is that everything is in vector, right? So those things are endlessly scalable. Sometimes when you work in pixel-based apps, you will not be able to scale the work as much because you have worked on a specific format, right? You worked on a specific format, and since you're drawing with pixels, you're not able to scale them as much. So this is the good part about working in vector, especially if you are a branding designer or if you're doing illustrations for a brand or maybe for packaging. Those things are so important that you are able to work in vector format and that you're able to scale your work, right? So what if you know, your work will be used for let's say a huge banner, right? So you would have to basically redo it from from scratch if you are working in pixels. So yeah, working vector-based will save you a lot of time, a lot of effort. Yeah, so
A lot of
definitely.
user pain. Sorry.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And here, as we were seeing how Andrea was working, we can also go with a pen tool, and we can, the good thing is that we're working with our pencil all this time, right? So it makes it really easy to really draw something by hand. So here, let's say we're gonna go into the pen tool. We're able to select our points. And as you can see, we have the same exact handles that we have on the desktop. So it's basically, you're basically working in the same manner. You're able to adjust those handles and move them around just like Andrea was doing just now, right? So we can move these points and adjust our curve. And that comes really handy, especially if you're working in lettering or just like the things that Andrea was doing right now. Actually, Andrea, you should try it out.
I will.
Yeah, so yeah, let's jump back to Andrea's work, but just a little excursion into Illustrator on the iPad. I think it's definitely something to experiment with. I love I love doing that when I'm, for example, hanging out on a couch, like Andrea was saying, trying to disturb my brain, think about something else, and just, relax on the couch and do some maybe fun lettering stuff or logo designs I've done in the past, even packaging. I've done a bunch of stuff, on the iPad even. It's so cool how technology now, can be so flexible that we don't have to work stationary anymore. Like I can go on a flight and I can still do my work from my iPad if I wanted to.
Especially now, right? That you can be working remotely, you can be in the lake, you can be at the beach, and you can still get your work done.
Yeah, hopefully slowly we will be able to get out more and into the nature. I can't wait.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are you up to, Andrea? Let us know. Give us a little update.
Of course, I am adjusting my font choice a little bit. And I've also decided that I might want to change the color of the background. So I'm just like testing it. I'm going to see both of them at the same time and like make a decision soon. Another thing I did was the same thing I did for Not Too Hot. No, So Hot to Hot. I am looking for something to use for Sunny. So I'm not going to trace Sunny in this case because you could tell that it can be a bit tedious. I like it, but maybe you don't want to watch me do pen tool for 4 hours. So I'm looking for a font. My head says condensed. So I'm looking for a couple of suggestions that are a bit condensed. And now I need to decide which one I want to go with. So I don't know, maybe people have
let us know in the chat what y'all think. Let's give them numbers. So from left to right, 1 2 3 4 5 6, right?
Yeah, let's just do that.
Cool. So let us know in the chat which one's your favorite, which one you think will work the best for the Sunny Hotel, right? That's the name of the hotel, correct? Yeah. So the Sunny Hotel needs a logo, and we want you to know which one you think will work best for it. Let us know in the chat. Okay.
Maybe this is too big, but it's okay. You'll get the idea.
That's perfect.
All right. So I'm going to switch back to my colors here. And I think at this stage, I'm ready to start working with gradients. I have a big love for gradients. So I'm going to turn off my sketch layer, look at the solid colors now. And my gradient of choice is usually, are usually mesh gradients. So I think I'm going to start with this pink. I always try to incorporate pink. So I go to gradients or G, and then I'm going to go up here where we have the 3 options, and freeform is my go-to for today. It's either mesh or freeform, but we're going to play with this today. Cool. So it generates these little dots. They probably have a fancier name than dots, where you can click and choose whatever color you want them to be.
Gradient points. That's what they called.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, so I'm gonna start selecting colors from my color library. So this orange is kind of a recent addition to my library. These two kind of peachy colors, the recent additions, and I really like them. All
Recent
right,
addition.
so yeah,
it sounds like some seasonal color.
kind of is. It really is. Just started with spring, and I don't know. I was
Cool.
just
Oh,
inspired.
by the way, the majority of the viewers are saying number 3 is their favorite of
Oh
the
yeah.
logos so far.
Wait, I have some
Cool.
weird.
Can you show us a little bit how are you adding points and how can you remove the points?
Yes. So I will go to my object that I want to gradientify, and I will usually go to G, go up here, select freeform gradient, and once these points are generated, I will click on it or double click, and you can choose your color here, or I just click on it, and once I see that it's selected, I just choose whatever color I want from my library. That's how I use them. And then you can also, there's this circle, this area that you can click on the little white dot, and it just makes the area that the color takes bigger. I don't know if you can see it so much in this view, but let's try it like this. So G, this one, and then you can change the colors by clicking on the point and going to your color. There we go.
And you can also move around the dots, right?
Yeah, you can move them around, and sometimes it creates unexpected colors. So I find that if you move them, see, now it's making like a weird violet that I kind of like. That's a way I find colors to use. Like I said, I'm always updating my library, and sometimes these like strange generated colors give me life. So I include them. All right. So I'm kind of happy with this. I might adjust it a bit later. And now I think that it's looking a bit plain to me. So I want to add some sunshine, like some rays. Is that how you say it? Sun rays?
Yeah, sun rays. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
So this is actually, I don't know if it's a hack or if everybody does it this way, but this is how I do it. So I will take the ellipse tool. I didn't select that one. Or you can go to L. That creates your little ellipse. I just have a stroke for it, an outline. Let's give it a different color so that we can see it a bit more. There we go, with black. And then I go to stroke. I create a dashed line. I don't know, I just see what it feels like, adjust it however I feel like. I don't have a rule for numbers here. And then you just increase the weight forever to create
Oh.
Yeah. I think I want to
that's
do more.
so cool. That's so easy.
Yeah, it's so easy. And then you just go, once you're happy with your shape, it still looks small, but we're going to fix that. It needs a bit of, I mean, I guess I could try to make it a bit bigger. There we go. Yes, we can.
That's so cool. That is hack, actually. What I would do is I would probably create one of the elements, and then I would rotate it all around. Or maybe I would create two that are parallel and then kind of like a propeller, put them together.
Yeah, I guess I've done that
but
too.
This is so cool. This is so easy.
And then you can just go object, expand. Where is it? Expand appearance. I'll go again, expand, and whoop, whoop. What?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Oh, what I did?
Okay, let's see. Maybe one of the...
I think I just need
fill. Yeah.
It didn't work. But we'll make it work. If not, we're going to do the propeller thing. That's also fun.
No, I think it should work.
Right?
Let's see. Expand appearance. Yeah.
I think
just select the stroke. Yeah. Just select the stroke. Oh, that's weird.
Oh, no. I think I just made it too big. So let's go back a bit. I find that sometimes if I make the stroke really, really big, it won't expand.
Make the circle bigger. Can you? Can you make the circle bigger?
Yes, I can.
Oh yeah, make the circle bigger. Oh yeah, there we
Oh,
go. There we go. I think it was just overlapping each other. That's why.
we're learning together. There we go.
Yay!
So we have this sunbeams already. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, or I can just go to A and because we want it to be behind the sun, right? But these are a bit short. So I'm just gonna wing it and pull them a little bit with the direct select tool. I think that might be just easier than making it bigger. Okay, and now I want it to be cropped, right? So I want it to be cropped with this shape over here. So I'm gonna take that shape, select the sunbeams as well, copy, paste them in place. And now I'm gonna use my friend, the Pathfinder, and I'll just click. This was intersect. Again, sometimes I have to click on all of them until I get the one I want. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna bring my sunbeams back, and I'm gonna bring my sun to the front. Come on. Or I can do this.
Is it maybe on a different layer? Oh, okay.
No, it's all on the same layer.
That's all on the same. Good.
I also see that I have some weird black line over here. I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, we'll figure it out. So I'm going to align my sunbeams with the square down there. And I think I'm just going to choose a solid color for this one. So I'm going to change my color selection here, and let's try pink.
Yay. Oh, that looks so cool. I love that.
Starting to get there.
Yes.
Okay.
I love how like that plain color is intersecting with the gradient.
Yeah.
It looks so cool.
Pattern, right? Yeah, it does. All right. So I think I am liking this font choice better than this one. So this was Futura, and this one is Bungee. I think I'm going to stick with Bungee. Let's just do that. So I'm going to bring Soha over here as well. And then we have some votes, right? They like number...
So number 3 and number 5 came in a lot too.
Okay.
So let's see, how many 3s do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And how many 5s do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, definitely number 3. 1.
Honestly, I'm glad, because that's what I wanted to choose. So I'm just gonna take it. I'll bring it here again. I'm gonna get rid of this small sunny. So now I'm gonna start scaling my sunny up and create a balance with the V. So I can already tell that I'm gonna have to make V smaller and reduce the stroke. What is it? Weight.
Stroke weight, yeah. Yay.
Something like that. Oh, so
yes, so much better.
Yeah. That's better. That's better.
Yeah, a little bit more friendly, a little bit more light, right?
Yeah. It's the sunny. It's for relaxing.
Cool.
But
yeah.
I do like black better. So
okay.
This is how it goes. It's very you just have to trust your gut and see what you like. I think this.
Yeah, I think with a black background, the sunny doesn't stick out too much and it doesn't look too aggressive. But if the background is lighter, then I think the lighter version works really well. But yeah, it's the gut. It's the gut.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. For everybody who just joined us, we have a bunch of people who just joined us. Let us know where you all are tuning in from. Let us know if you have any questions. Let us know if you have ever did illustration before. Ishan is saying looks good. Yay. I agree. I love that.
I'm going to play with gradients a little bit more. So G, freeform gradient, and we have the little dots again. So I think this has to stay in some kind of, it needs to be a different color, not such a warm color. So we need some contrast. So maybe a blue green situation. Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Let's see, what if I add a bit of green as well, like a tiny, and then you can, if you select a color, a point with a color, and then you click again, it uses the same color that you were adjusting before. So that's kind of, so again, I want more blue. There we go. I think I do like the green, but I think it needs to be smaller. So I'm like pushing the green out with the blue dots.
Yeah, you can also use that little circle, and if you click on the little dot that's on the circle, it will increase the color spreading, let's say.
This.
Yeah, that one, yes.
Yeah, but I want it small, so it's staying small for now. All right. I'm liking these gradients. I think this red...
and did you know you can also use transparency in those?
Yeah, you have to go, let's go again.
You can double click on one of the points and then you can go, opacity. Yeah.
Adjust it here.
Yeah, if you wanted to. Just a suggestion.
Just showing it. Maybe, I mean, I don't hate it, so maybe we'll keep it. I'm just gonna make it a tiny bit smaller. There we go. All right, I like that. Now, I think this red also needs some, I'm gonna round these corners a tiny bit. And then... So
this is basically your illustration style, right? So you're creating the illustration, and then you're adding those gradients everywhere. So that's super unique. I have actually not seen it, or it was not like super obvious to me that somebody has done it like that before. I have seen some like shading and making it look like three-dimensional, but just like creating like a color flow, I feel like that's something unique, very unique to your style.
I love gradients. I feel like sometimes I might overuse them, but I don't care. Also, I recently discovered that gradients to me are like digital glitter, where you just if you start using it, you just can't rid of it. It's going to be there forever and you can't do anything about it.
And
digital
noise.
Glitter. Yeah, and noise. That's my second. Yeah, I'm a big noise fan. Okay. Yeah. Gradient. All right, there we go. Point, another red one here. I think in this one, I just want to have a tiny hint of pink. Cool. Pink. There we go. And then another red one here as well.
And we have a couple of people joining us. Pretty is saying, hi, Pretty here. I'm an absolute beginner. Love watching these live shows. That's awesome. Welcome.
Hi.
And make sure to check out Pretty. If you're an absolute beginner, check out the daily creative challenges in Illustrator or Photoshop, whatever you prefer. Those are amazing, and that will help you really learn tool by tool, and it will be super easy for you to learn. And Ferry is also joining us. I did illustration for playing around. I made a donut a couple times ago. That's cool. That's
donut.
Awesome.
I feel like I should make a donut as well. I've never made one, but so I can see that there is something strange happening here. There's this little rectangle that I can't seem to figure out where it's coming from. But we're gonna tackle it in a little bit. Do you see it? There's like a line here.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure what that is from, but we'll figure it out.
Try clicking Y on your keyboard.
Oh, one sec. Yeah, so let's go. What are you? It's not.
Is it something locked?
I truly.
Is it a guide maybe? Right click on it.
Nothing.
Maybe a glitch.
Maybe a glitch. Maybe we'll just ignore it for now and then figure it out later.
Yeah, let's see.
All right.
That's weird.
Now I think I'm gonna like glitter. Gradients are everywhere, so the sun also needs to be glowy and gradient. Let's go. We have the yellow. We need another dot. Oh, it kicked me out. I really like to pair yellow and pink. I don't know if it's also a seasonal thing, like you said, but I added these peachy colors, and now
it's the spring.
Yeah, I really think so.
The spring is coming in Falduda.
Oh yeah. Okay, I don't like this pink. Maybe I'll do this little orange. Okay. I like that better.
Cool.
So
and we have a quick question here. Meanwhile, maybe we can take a little quick breather.
Yes.
Ariana is asking, I was wondering if anyone had any tips on where to start to make graphic design or animation your career. I know a large amount of organizations want people with experience, but where do I start? Andrea, maybe you have a good
Yeah,
example.
I think it's my own example of starting with illustration and creating projects for myself, creating your own briefs, do whatever you want. Like, you don't have to ask anybody. You can make your own brief. You can make your own fake, like make your fake hotel like I'm doing. I think that's not only fun, but it gives you the opportunity to try different styles. Uh, yeah, I think that when you're working with a client, sometimes you have to bend your style a little bit. Maybe they have a specific color palette that you need to work with, or brand guidelines that you need to respect. And I think this is a good opportunity to experiment and create portfolio work that might get you a really cool client or a really cool job. You
Yeah,
don't need real
same
clients.
here. Same here. I'm a self-taught graphic designer, so I have never studied anything that's related to graphic design. I started studying industrial design, which was 3D and prototyping, so making 3D models out of
Wow.
foam. But graphic design is something that I've learned by myself, and I can tell you that's also the way that I've started building up my portfolio. I've started either working for my family and friends, or I've started working on passion projects like Andrea was mentioning.
Mhm.
Just pick yourself a theme, pick yourself a style, pick yourself a topic that you want to work on, and deal with it and treat it like a real client project, and then put it into your portfolio. And for example, I have a lot of projects like that in my portfolio, and that got me a lot of clients. And I've been working as a freelance designer for probably 6, 7 years, something like that. And that has always been a success. And that's also a way how you can target the right audience for yourself. So in my case, I love working with cosmetics, beverage, food industry. And if I create passion projects in that specific industry, that's where people feel attracted to, you know? So if I want to attract a specific client, I give them something they can relate to, right? So that's my biggest tip for you. Whenever you work on a passion project, just really think about what you want to do in the future.
I totally agree with that. I, by the way, I also started with industrial design, and
Oh, that's
very
interesting.
quickly realized that it needed numbers, and numbers are not really my friends. So I couldn't pass my math class, and then I
Numbers,
just, yeah,
physics, thinking
yeah,
about materials, thinking about how, like, let's say you have a piece of plastic and you want to bend it. How what's the radius of it that needs to be bent, and what's the temperature that needs to be used applied to
this is
to
way too
create the
hard.
perfect radius. Yeah, so this was also not only too, it was not actually not too hard, but it was just so far away from what I was wanting to do, what I've been wanting to do. And I was always the more artsy and more creative
Mhm.
type. And industrial design, especially studying it in Germany, can be really dry. I don't know if you can call it dry, but it's a lot of prototyping, testing, prototyping, testing, prototyping, testing, which is an interesting process. But sometimes, you know, you would work on a project where you design car keys for a car for 6 months, and you're only working and concentrate on one project. And for me, I'm more of a fast-paced person. I like those quick projects. I like quick
Yeah.
results. And from what I'm doing right now is I'm doing branding and packaging. And with branding, you can, in 2, 3 weeks, you can completely remodel, redesign a whole identity of a brand. And then they will be there shining in a new light, you know, and targeting a specific audience with their visuals and their identity. So I think those projects are way more exciting for me because they're so quick and so impactful, right?
Oh yeah, I am now. I should probably start working on the next postcard, but I just want to try one last thing here. I'm a one one of the biggest or one of my favorite tools or things that you can do in Illustrator is I just call it the squiggly line. So I think you will know what I mean. So I'm just gonna make a line, very basic. Here we go, it's white, and then here we go. Here's the magic, my favorite thing. So effect, distort and transform, and the zigzag or squiggly line. So I use this so much, and I feel like maybe even a year ago, I didn't know this existed. And I was doing it manually and like trying to join points from circles. And then I discovered the squiggly line and it changed my life. So I'm a big squiggly line fan.
Same here. Yes, same here. And I think I found out about it also just about a year ago. Yeah, something like that. Mm-hmm.
So I think that I want to make this square inside the matchbox a squiggly line. So I'm just going to try to do that. If it starts to take me too long, then I might just switch to the next one, and then we might be able to come back to this. So this is kind of the size of the square, right? So I think there might be different ways of doing this. I might be overcomplicating things. I'm just going to object expand appearance. There we go. I kind of make the size that's according to the rectangle that I'm already using. All right, there we go. And then I will just copy, paste it in place, rotate, and then I'll generate my own rectangle this way, because I find it that if you would take this rectangle or a square, for example, let's make it an outline. Okay. What is happening? There we go. It's not, doesn't want to be an outline.
Oh, maybe because of the gradient. Oh, just yeah. Okay, got it. You got it already.
Yeah, I find that if I try to do zigzag or squiggly line, it creates these things in the corners. And maybe I just haven't found the right way to adjust it. But yeah,
that's weird. Oh, I think it's because you have the radius
around. But even though, let's try it. Maybe we'll figure it out. Yeah, it does like see, like sometimes it works, and then
yeah, it's because the settings there need to be way more precise for that specific case. Yeah, I agree. It's when you have a even number or an uneven number of waves, it creates sometimes those like weird and yeah, I agree.
But I'll use it for now. I think that's not too bad. That's kind of balanced, I guess.
It reminds me of like a cookie cutter form.
It is. It has these weird corners, but let's just go with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on eye. So it's the eyedropper tool, and I want the same gradient that I'm using behind the sun. So there we go. Yay. And now I want the sun and the sunbeams as well. So I'm going to copy those on top of this. There we go. Something like that. I might have to make it a bit bigger so that it doesn't, something like that. Now I'm going to select the sunbeams and, is it grouped? No. The sunbeams and the squiggly rectangle. I'm going to copy and paste them in place again. And now I am going to, sorry, it's not selecting the same. Should be fine now. There we go. Yay. So I get rid of these, bring this back in. I could mask it differently, but this is just what I'm used to.
Everybody has their own process. I always say it's like a forest, and everybody kind of finds their own path through the forest. So, I mean, as long as you come out of there and you have achieved what you wanted to achieve, you're good.
No, bye. Maybe I'll try to figure out that rectangle later, but for now we're just gonna.
And that especially goes for Photoshop, because in Photoshop can be so complex. You can create so many things with it that really it is like a forest.
I think so too.
Right.
I think so. What do we think about the squiggly lines? I think it gives it a bit of like life and movement, and I love it. So I don't know. Does anybody opposed to squiggly lines? We can remove them as well.
I like them. I think they're bringing a little bit of, like an excitement into it.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna start a new document and I'll start working on the second postcard. It's gonna be a kind of similar process, but the design and the composition might be different. And the sketch I have for this one, let's go, yeah, this one. I have it ready. The sketch I have for this one is a bit more loose. So I might decide to change things on the spot. Where is my finder?
I like your designing sound.
Oh yeah, you have to make designing sounds. So I don't know, what do we think? I'm like hotel or cocktail? I think I'm gonna do hotel and then might finish with cocktail because I think that's
sure.
That just sounds right. So I'm doing the same thing, a sketch layer. And you know, I think this one has more elements, so I'm gonna try to be more organized with my layers. I think with this one, which we call postcard 1, it's not so complex. It doesn't have that many elements, so I think we can get away with having it at one layer, kind of. This one has more things, so I think we're just gonna be more organized, or I'll try to. All right, so this is my sketch layer. Yeah.
And that's always a challenge in illustration, right? So how much detail are you gonna put into it? How far do you go to really define the little small things that are, you know, maybe something you can see inside the window? Do you really want to show
too much?
Yeah, how much is too much? Exactly.
I'm also gonna copy this and bring it here so that I have it on the side, and I'm gonna lock it. So I'm gonna be like a postcard 1. I just want to have it as a reference so that the 3 postcards make sense together and it's a cohesive concept, I guess. All right, so postcard 1, now I'm gonna make another layer for the one that we're gonna be working on with. So usually I like to start with the background. So if you start, I think this is common in painting as well, that you always start with your sky or I don't know, whatever you're doing as a background.
The background, right?
Yeah.
Background, then you're moving to the foreground.
Exactly. Sometimes I don't, but so I can already tell that since we did a squiggly lines box before for the matchbox, I think I need to do squiggly lines here as well. I think it's just necessary. All right. Window, effect, zigzag. I think they should change it to squiggly lines, by the way. Just a suggestion.
We'll send in a request to the Illustrator team.
Yes.
This is definitely not a zigzag. This is a squiggly line.
This is a squiggly line. I mean, you can have it because I have it set to smooth. Oh, right. So if you don't have it smooth, then it is a zigzag. But who wants that? We like squiggly lines.
Yeah.
Okay, that looks right. I'm gonna expand appearance.
Cool. And Lisette is saying it makes me think of a stamp on a postcard, so it seems fitting.
Oh yeah. Wow, I didn't even think about that. I actually didn't think about designing the postcard, but you know, I'm gonna do it again because I think I already know that I wanted more space down here. I don't have, in the sketch I made, I don't have, well, I have the logo here, so we're gonna try that, but I feel like it might get a bit lost. So like I said, this one is way more loose and we're just gonna go in and adjust as we go. That's the cool thing about having your own projects. Like there's no client, do whatever you want. It's fun. All right, effect, zigzag, there we go. I think the other reason I like to do each line is because it kind of creates the same amount, the same size of waves. But for now, we're gonna keep it. I might go back and adjust it later. Sound appearance. There we go. So again, I forgot to bring my sketch layer to the top. I'm doing that now. Okay, so we have the background, which I'm guessing will be the sky. We also have the beach, and we have some water down here. It's getting lost, so I'm gonna have to bring it up. I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna treat this layer as the sky, and I'll just do blue for now. Whoop. I'm gonna, if you go X, it will change your color selection. Is it color selection? Like fill or stroke. So I want to play with my fill. There we go. Okay. Let's make some sand. Square. I think I want it to be this brownie color, beigey sandy. And then we need water. So I'm gonna copy paste that, put it down here. Like I said, I always start with super basic shapes and then adjust them. So now, for example, I can see the squiggly. I'm pointing at my screen with my finger as if somebody's looking. I want squiggly lines on the water as well. So I think this is where I will show you how I usually do my squiggly line squares. So let's make this by, and let's make a line. Line X. There we go. I want it blue. And let's do a squiggly line again. There we go. Is it the same sizes? Something like that. We can adjust it if we decide to. Now I'll take this line. I will expand appearance, and then I will just finish it up with a pen tool and like give it sharp corners because I'm gonna crop it anyway. Ta-da! Right?
Super cool.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah.
And I love the idea. By the way, we have Tunch in the chat. Hi, Tunch. What is up? How are you doing? Tunch is suggesting let's make a GIF by switching sunbeam colors. Like,
yeah.
that would be cool.
Like the background and the sun. I think that would be super cool.
Yeah, I love that suggestion.
I think.
And Vikram is saying, sunny beach, it reminds me to go there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the point. We want to pretend like we're having a little digital vacation. So yeah. I think I want the sunbeams to be here as well. So I'm just recycling. Let's do this. Let's see if it works. I might have to pull, use the, I think that's fine. Right? We think that's fine. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I know it's looking messy, guys.
It's okay. We'll do step by step.
Oh. Step by step.
Ferry is saying ta-da.
Ta-da. Yeah. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. Now I'm gonna get rid of this, bring my sunbeams back, change the color to whatever, just that I can see them. No. Oh.
Cool. And we have some more people joining us. Let us know where y'all from. Send us a little something in the chat. What are y'all up to? Are you having a coffee break? Are you working on the side? I love sometimes watching Adobe Live and like designing my own stuff on the side.
Oh, I do that too. I do that with your videos.
Oh yeah, that's so cool. I love that. That's awesome. So yeah, it's always great to have some type of, almost feels like you are in like a co-working space and somebody's like working next to you and you're doing your own thing.
Yes. I just had an idea now. So here's the thing. I'm going to be creating everything for the postcard, and then I want all of the squiggly lines to be kind of framing the illustration or the image. And I think I'm just complicating things, but trying to crop everything. So I think that, I don't know if it's a hack, but what we're going to do is create a frame that will go on top of everything. I don't know if that makes sense. So I will take the background I already made. I will just move things to the side. I never respect artboards, by the way. I always
artboards are just for the export. They're just for the export.
Yeah, I always end up having to create artboards on things that I've already designed out of it so that I can export. Okay, that's kind of okay. I might like adjust the squares later, but I'm fine with that for now. So, ta-da! Yay. So I just clipped it out with Pathfinder, and I'm gonna take it away. I'm gonna create a new layer. It's gonna be called frame.
So by taking it away, you just like copied it and removed it, right? And then you pasted it into a different layer. Okay.
I just cut it. Yeah. So we have the frame there, and I'm going to lock it so that I can work with everything underneath and not have to worry about the cropping. If that makes any sense. All right. Cool. I think the frame should be lighter. So I'm going to go back in and yep. I'm not a big fan of a pure white ever.
Yeah. Off-white.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Juan is saying, love the idea of a fictional hotel. It has a story behind it. Yay.
Oh, yeah.
And
well,
Anaisa,
it doesn't have one yet, but we can come up with one.
We can come up with one, yeah. Anaisa saying, just joined. Looks amazing. Welcome, Anaisa.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. Oh, and Tunch has a very interesting and intriguing question. Are you the export as or save for web type of person?
Well, I think we'll get to that. So my process doesn't finish in Illustrator. I'm taking this back here. I always export everything to Photoshop and then add textures in there. I feel like textures and noise, like we said before, like glitter, once you start with noise, then you're a noise person forever. I usually take it all to Photoshop and then export from Photoshop. It depends. If I need to create something for animation or for motion, then I might be more disciplined in Illustrator and export that as an Illustrator file. And then the textures will be added by during the animation process. And this is something that I've been taught by my colleagues. So Cookie and Vitek, if you're listening, thank you for teaching me.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've learned so many things of my colleagues. I've worked at an agency for a while in between my freelancing. So I've learned a lot from my colleagues as well. I love that about working with somebody.
Yeah.
But that's so cool. And Cody's saying love of white gives a vintage vibe. Yeah, totally agree. And noise, talking about noise, some of you might not even know what noise is. So noise is basically that sound that an image makes. It's like, oh. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're totally right. I used to think of it when I was a kid. It was like ants fighting. It was like an ant war. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and so noise, what it is, it's actually just a grain that you overlay an image with, and it creates that effect as if something is as an ant war. Right?
Yes. What is happening here? Let's see. It's not selecting my layer, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna.
That's super cool. Yeah, noise I think comes from film where or from photography where you have that graininess in a color, right? So sometimes when you edit a photo, you will notice some graininess going on in a flat color. So that's called noise. And it's not always a good thing. It's actually an imperfection, right? Also, yeah, it's an imperfection, but it's used to make something look imperfect and make something look vintage.
Yeah.
So it's actually interesting if you think about that. We use imperfections to make something more interesting. That makes sense.
Yep, because I feel like sometimes with personally with vectors, I love working with vectors because like you said, you just can't go wrong. Like you can always go back and fix it, make it bigger, make it smaller, but they're very perfect usually, or the way I use them, they're usually very perfect, and I find that adding texture or noise just breaks that perfection and gives it more visual interest. Yeah. All right, totally. I'm going to start with the hotel, the actual building. I feel like I accidentally turned on guides or something because,
snap to grid.
We definitely, that's an enemy.
It happens to me all the time. And there are some shortcuts you don't notice when you press them like that.
Exactly.
And then something's weird. Something is like not moving the way I want it to move.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I understand why it could be very useful for some people or for some, I don't know, specific projects, but I am not a fan of smart grids. What am I doing? There we go.
Cool.
So I'm just
Yeah.
making, yeah.
Cool. Cody is just posting the Instagram of Andrea. Make sure to check that out.
Thank
She
you.
there you can see the way she applies noise to her and texture to her work. And she's going to be doing that with these illustrations as well. So this is all very perfect vector art as of now, but she's going to add some texture and noise to this in Photoshop, correct?
Yes.
So I'm
We're going to be
excited for
doing that.
that.
I think that's going to be part 2, actually. So
yeah, we're gonna do that tomorrow. But
yes.
yeah, there's still a lot to be done today.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
I have some weird lost point in here. Bye. We don't want you. So
Awesome.
I'm making a little roof. I'm gonna have to trace hotel over here. So you saw me do that for the. I'm gonna have to do that for hotel as well. All right. I want this.
Cool. This is architecture design in Illustrator for you.
Yeah.
Super
okay.
Cool.
All right. I want to see what it looks like without the sketch on top to see if I'm liking the composition.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm already
Looks
not
great.
feeling the color of the building, so we might have to change that. I don't know.
I think, you know, once you add the windows, it might change your opinion because right now the blue seems really dark. But
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's add a window then. So again, building basic geometric shapes.
Like the very popular arch that everybody's using right now on social media.
We're going there as well. Okay. Yeah. M for rectangle or square. And then I'm just gonna merge them with Pathfinder. Here we go. So this is too big. We can already tell.
Yeah, Lisette is saying. Yeah, Lisette is saying the noise on old TVs when signal is not good or lost. Yeah, exactly. That.
It's the ant war.
Yeah. Cool. And Katie's saying it's looking great.
Thank you, Katie.
And Ugur has the same thought as Lisette, saying the noise on old TVs when the signal is not good. Oh yeah. Oh, Lisette was actually saying noise is kind of what you got on TV when the videotape stopped playing.
Oh yeah.
The times of VHS.
It was also kind of creepy, right? If you think of horror movies, noise is not a good sign ever.
Yeah, it's always like, oh, the ghost is in the room. You know, the TV starts being noisy, like starts like the light starts flickering and everything is just not the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah. But here it's fun noise, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay. I know that I want black windows because I want some like black elements to go with the previous postcard. So I think that it's too dark and I need to change the color of the building. Now, what do we want? Let's see. We don't have to use any of these colors, but I'm just going to start testing those. So pink or red might be too much. Yeah, that's like too much, I think. What about white? That's too white.
White is too white. Maybe like a terracotta. I don't know, like a brownish.
Brownish?
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. But, you know, this is when I would start just playing with gradients because maybe a solid color doesn't feel so welcoming. But once it becomes like a reddish gradient or a pinkish gradient, then it becomes fun. So let's do that. Gradients. Red. I like red. Let's do
oh yeah, you're so right. It changes
the
whole mood, the whole vibe of the building. Yeah,
go with this orange as well because it's sunny.
That's super cool. Yeah, we have some reflections of the sun, maybe some objects that are from located at the bottom. They're throwing a reflection onto the building. So that's also actually a very natural way to perceive a shape like that in its environment.
True. Now I need to change the color of the am I getting there? I think I need to adjust the the
light
sky
rays,
a little
sun
bit.
rays?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, like the whole sky. So I have, all right, we have a gradient here. I'm going to adjust that. I think that we're losing contrast here specifically. All right, there we go.
There we go.
I'll have to adjust them as well because we see it broken there, but that's fine. I think that's a bit better. I still want to see orange. Oh, wait, wait. These sounds, I kind of, they're part of the process, even when I'm alone. All right.
Yeah.
So here we go. I'm liking that. I think that's closer. I might still adjust it, but we have to see how the rest of the elements work. So what else do we have?
Cool.
Kind of it like this.
Yeah, I love that.
Let's see the sketch. All right. So I think I'm gonna start. Yeah.
Malini's saying, she's saying, love, it feels like I'm inside a visual story. So whatever you're creating, kind of, you think back of the hotel and what kind of vibes it wants to kind of transfer to somebody who sees the illustration. So I really love how you're like always thinking of it as a real thing.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to enjoy it, right? So I'm just thinking, in what kind of environment would I like to be if I was, I mean, on a beach? Yeah, sunset, absolutely. Beachy. So let's do, we have these.
We have Eduardo Davalos joining us. Hi to y'all, especially Andrea.
That's my dad or my brother. So hi.
They're both named Eduardo.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, let us know, Eduardo. Are you the brother or are you the dad? We'd love to know.
All right. So we have some bushes. I'm going pretty quickly with the pen tool. I would usually spend more time trying to create a balanced curve, but I mean, I wouldn't like to watch somebody work with the pen tool for a long time. So trying to make it a bit faster. All right.
Yeah, you can, as a designer who works with vectors, you can really zoom in so much.
Oh, yeah.
You can zoom in and zoom in and zoom in and zoom in, and there is no ending to the zooming in.
True. Can be kind of strange sometimes.
Oh, it's your dad. It's your dad who's joining
us. Hola.
That's awesome.
Green. All right. We need a second one. I don't want it to be so, what is the word? Symmetric. So I'm just going to make a different one. Otherwise, I would usually just copy it and reflect it. But I'm just going to make a different one because we're not going for symmetry here. All right. Something like that. Let's close it. I will make it straight. Like that's one thing that I do need to do. All right.
I always have the weirdest shapes when I try to close a part of the illustration. And as long as it's covered, it doesn't matter, right?
That's true. That's true. But sometimes you end up making different decisions and you want to uncover things and then all of your mistakes are exposed.
Then you're like, oh, oops.
Yep, wasn't me. All right. So we have, does it look? Yeah, I think that's right. No sketch. I didn't call this sketch. See how my layer process is? Like I try, but then if it's for somebody else, in the end, I will have to spend time cleaning up my layers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right. We have some palm trees.
Oh so, man, I can't wait when we go into Photoshop and add all of that noise and texture.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Cool. Okay, so for these palm trees, just before we started, I was thinking about it and I'm not the biggest fan of these shapes. So I want to try something a bit more funky and not respect this initial sketch as much. I'm talking about the leaves. So I'll keep the same type of is it a stem for palm trees or trunk or this thing? Let's start with that. So I'm gonna make a little curve. I want this to be, I guess you can't really see what I'm doing because I have a weird color. Let's do it black for now. Oops. There we go.
Cool.
Also, I'm in a different layer. So I'm gonna cut this and paste it on palm trees. There we go.
When you cut something, it automatically copies, right? So you can paste it somewhere else?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go back. I already know that I want this to have a little curve. I want it to be in front of the leaves. Let's do this. Let's finish this up. Okay. And I'll just close that for now. Now I'll just
make it a little bit more curvy and round.
Yeah. See, like here it should be smaller, I feel. Let's do this.
Don't just saying, "Whoa, working with layers in Illustrator, you're something else."
Yeah. I've had to. I didn't before. I was let me lock the sketch layer. I was very messy with my layers until I had to start sharing files, and I had to learn that people don't want to be working with your messy Illustrator files. It just makes everybody's life impossible. So if it's for yourself and you're just having fun, you don't have to worry about it. But if your file has somebody else that's going to be working with it, then yeah, be nice. Rewind, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I'm going here. I want to make these a bit round. There we go. I guess I could have done this here as well, but here we are. So I'm gonna keep these black for now, and I'm gonna start with the leaf shape. So I'm just gonna create one shape, and I will, recycle it for the rest of the palm trees.
Cool.
Vamos a ver. I think I want it to be, this is gonna be a very strange way of showing you the shape I want. I want it to be something like like this. Okay, that didn't make sense.
So like a long drop, basically?
Yeah, kind of like a long drop, but with a curved point as well. So I'm just gonna start doing that with my pen tool.
Yeah, pen tool gives you the most freedom.
It really does. I will adjust it, something like that.
Cool. Let us know in the chat if you all are ready for some vacation. Send us some palm trees.
I know I am.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait. Hi, Ridi. Good to see ya.
Okay.
Let us know where you all are tuning in from. I'd love to know. Vikram already went to bed. I'm assuming somewhere maybe around India. Where are you all from? And what time is in your country? I'd love to know.
So I did half of my leaf. I copy paste it, and I'm gonna go transform and reflect. There is a shortcut for this, but I believe it's one of the F keywords, and I don't use those. So that's my problem. No, I think this is fine. So we're gonna merge it, and I think I want this to be a bit more open. It's fine. We're gonna live with this. Here we go.
Cool.
We want to green. Yeah.
We have Caro here joining. Saludos de Mexico.
Saludos, Caro.
Greetings from Mexico. And we have a fairy here from Indonesia. Andrea is here from Miami. Andrea Saavedra. Hey. Andrea, I'm also in Miami right now. Cool. Carol is saying I'll send you some iguanas on the palm trees from South Florida. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, we have a lot of iguanas in palm trees here. Laura is saying always ready for the vacation. Yay. And Tunch is saying in Istanbul it's 9 p.m. Cool.
Oh.
And Pierce, also great question. Are you using a pen or a mouse? What's your tool? What are your tools?
Yeah, I'm using a mouse. I'm using an Apple mouse. This one.
Yeah, same here. I cannot work with a trackpad. I cannot work with a Wacom tablet. And I think the question was there before in the chat if we work with a Wacom. Do you ever work with a Wacom?
I don't.
table?
I find I think it's just about getting used to it, but I find what is it called? You're drawing and then it doesn't reflect at the same time. There's a word for this.
Oh,
The lag.
oh, the lag. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I
That's
I'm not used to
interesting.
it.
The lag, it doesn't feel natural, right?
No,
For
it
me,
doesn't.
for me neither. You know, because when I draw something, for my coordination, I have to look at it for some
Yeah,
reason. And that's why I love sketching on the iPad, for example, because it feels so natural, and you can even get like a cover, like a sheet of plastic that you put on top of your iPad that has a little bit of texture like paper.
I've
And
been
that
meaning to
even,
get one of those. Does it feel amazing?
I don't know, I haven't tried it out yet, but I heard it really makes a big difference for people who sketch a lot on the
Yeah.
iPad. So definitely something to try out. But I just love seeing what I'm doing when I'm drawing. So I either like to sketch out things on paper and then use something like Adobe Capture to capture it either with my iPad or my mobile phone. And then you can transfer it right away into a vector, which is also super cool. So I love doing either that, or sometimes I sketch on my iPad. Sometimes I just use the pen tool, honestly, the pencil tool in Illustrator, and just draw with my mouse. That
Yeah.
works sometimes too. Just let's say if I have to create some random squiggle or something like that, I do that sometimes too. But yeah. And Ugur here from Istanbul. We have a lot of people from Istanbul. We have Indonesia, UK, New Jersey, Brazil. Um, awesome. Cool. Brazil is amazing.
Hey
I love
guys.
Brazil. And Anna here from Prague also. Happy to witness your illustration created
Hi.
live. Cool. And we have MD Duran here from Philippines, 2 a.m. Wow. Thanks so much for staying up with
Wow.
us. Hopefully this is entertaining, and hopefully you will have a nice creative sleep after this. And we have Lizette here from the Netherlands, and it's 8 p.m. there. We have Olga here from Moscow. Awesome. And Cody's saying that cover that you can get for the iPad is called Paper-like. Thank you so much for mentioning that. MD Duran is saying, hope your foot is okay now. Yes, I broke my leg recently and it's getting better. I'm still not walking, but I'm getting there. I'm trying. I'm trying.
You'll get there.
Yeah. And Katie's saying, I do love sketching on my iPad, but I cannot adjust to designing on it with Illustrator. I miss having a mouse. Interesting. Yeah. It takes some time to get used to doing things differently. That's for sure. Cool. And Anaisa is saying, I have Paper-like and I love it. Cool.
I'll be getting that soon. I've been eyeing it.
Yeah. And we have Stina from Sweden, Gerda from Lithuania. Wow. Awesome. And Simon is here from Bangladesh. That's so cool. And Mablu is here from India and Minji from Korea. Well, we have like people from all over the place. And I really love this community because everybody is either transitioning careers or just starting out learning design, or maybe starting learning a new skill and adding to their design work. So it's really cool to see how people from the whole planet can come together in a stream like this, right? And we're all live
Yeah,
here. We're all kind of feeling this like kind of support and togetherness. So I really love that.
it is
Cool.
great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make this sign. I still don't know if I want to keep it. I might do something else, but we have to give it a try. Wait 1 second. So I don't know if it translates as I wanted to. So, these hotels that have a sign, not necessarily just hotels, but I feel like the side sign might not feel so luxurious, if you know what I mean.
Do you mean like a light box?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm into the
Ah,
light box. Like,
uh-huh.
for the sake of the
Yeah,
illustration, could be fun, but I'm not sure.
it looks very typical. Let me say that. It looks like it belongs there, to be honest. Maybe
Right.
no, it actually looks cool. I like it.
Nope.
I like it.
Let's see. So I'm gonna hide the sketch layer to see what it's looking like. And we have this fake logo that we didn't spend that much time on, but we're just gonna keep it for now. I'm going to expand the trace for the V so that it becomes an object or a shape rather than an outline. I don't know, where am I doing? Edit. Am I right? Object, sorry. Object, expand. There we go. And I'm gonna do the same for this.
You can also,
yeah.
For text, you can also use Command Shift and O to outline it.
Oh. Okay, so we have to fit it in here. Of course, if this was a real logo, then we would have to be very respectful of what it's doing, but it's not. It's a fun one. So
we don't have to be respectful. We just have to have fun. That's what we're doing here.
All right, I think maybe I might have to make this a bit.
Yeah. Yes, that's it.
Something like that.
Yes. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. Yeah, it definitely has some really cool vacation/bar vibes. I love that.
Yeah. Okay, let's just keep it like that for now. And let's keep going. What else do we have? Let's look at the sketch. We have some umbrella beach things. Let's call them, let's make a layer called beach accessories.
Yeah. And we have about 10 minutes left to the stream. So let's see how far we can come. Otherwise, we'll continue tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow is another day. And tomorrow is going to be super exciting because tomorrow these illustrations are going to come to life and are going to get, you know, their final touches.
With so textures. Yeah.
Texture.
All right.
Cool.
So I'm just joining shapes here. I'm selecting something that I shouldn't. There we go. Join.
Cool. Again. Marion is saying good evening. Good evening, Marion.
Good evening. And one more time. Maybe the squiggly line could also do this, but not today.
Not today.
And then I'm gonna make a big circle with this using the smart guides so that it's the same width. I'm going to get rid of the bottom part and bring this down to make an umbrella shape.
Cool. Yeah, I totally agree with Cody. Saying to love this live stream today, all spring and summer vibes. Oh yeah, I totally agree. I love that. It makes me happy, honestly. Colors and your spring color collection, especially.
I love that we're calling it a collection. I think, yeah, I should rename my library to Spring Collection or something like that.
Or you can have like a primary color palette and like a spring secondary color palette.
Yeah,
that will change with the seasons, and then during fall it will be some like more earthy tones. that would be really fun,
right?
Cool.
And then so of course I can go on forever with choosing colors and gradients, but I think for now we're just gonna keep it like this. Okay.
This also reminds me of ice cream. You know, when you have three layers of ice cream, one is like strawberry, vanilla, and another raspberry or something like that.
Yeah.
So summery. I love that.
I'm gonna bring it up here. So it's I need it to be
cool. Lisette is saying your hotel looks like it would have its own signature sunny cocktail.
We're working on that tomorrow as well. So we're gonna create a third postcard, and that's already a cocktail. I'm not sure what kind of. I thought it was a margarita, but I think it would be better to make it something else.
Maybe like a coconut. Maybe like a coconut with like a little umbrella in it. or margarita.
I'm gonna try something else just really quickly before we go. I know we don't have that much time left today.
We still have about 6-7 minutes, so we still have a couple minutes.
All right. I know what I'm doing. Okay. So I'm just letting you know what I'm thinking. I'm not really convinced with that sign. I feel like it makes it a bit busy. So I'm gonna try something else. I'm gonna get rid of this. Bye.
Yeah, and always create copies of your design. So if you are making this decision and want to try something out, just make a copy, right? Why adjust the original one? Maybe you want to get back to that.
A ver, ¿qué está pasando?
Okay.
All right. I don't know what I'm doing.
Malini is saying this somehow reminds me of the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Because it's pink?
Have you all seen the movie? Oh, Grand Budapest Hotel is such a great movie.
It really is. So yeah, this is the Grand Beach, the Grand Sunny Hotel. Okay, so I think I like this clean version a bit better, and I'm just gonna seal this logo again, and I'm gonna try to have it down here. So I'm just gonna do this.
It's so funny. Everybody makes their own sounds. We have Howard Pinsky, who is working in Adobe XD most of the time, is our evangelist for Creative Cloud, and he's always making that sound. Boop.
Oh, really? Boop.
Boop. Yeah, it's like his signature designing sound.
I like it.
Let us know in the chat if you all are making some weird sounds, and try to put them into letters, which is always really hard too.
And if you're not, then you should start.
Yeah, whenever I succeed doing something and I feel happy about the design, I'm always going like, whoa. You can always hear me like, whoa. It's true. I do that sometimes because usually, well, actually it doesn't happen that often because I'll have to be almost ready with the design, and the most of the process I'm not ready with the design, so it's not that whoa. But once I'm done, then it might be a whoa.
So do you feel like are you a last minute person?
No, not about that, but you know how the design is coming together, but in the end you're so satisfied, and sometimes you even exceed what you've expected of yourself.
I see.
That's when it's like the last part of the design process. That's when I start wowing sometimes.
I think that's going to be us tomorrow when we start applying textures. It really brings it to life. I don't know, guys. What do you feel like? I personally, I think I like this version, like cleaner version, better. I might add a few more plants and play with the gradients, but I feel like this just feels a bit messy to me. The one with the umbrellas and the sign. Yeah.
So what do y'all think? Now, number one or number two?
Yeah.
Number one for the one with the sign and the umbrellas, and number two for the clean version. Cool. Cody's saying Howard says boop or vrr.
Brr, I like that one.
Yeah, and Ferry saying bam bam shoop, bam bam bang, and ooh ooh. Am I doing it right? I don't know.
So they're typing their sounds in there. Okay, that's awesome.
Yes, we have some sounds coming in here. Katie's saying she likes the bottom one.
Yay!
Clean. Number two. Rebecca is saying also a fan of whoa and boom. Yeah. Everybody's saying number two. And I also think, if you compare it to your first illustration, which has a little bit less detail, we can, see how they kind of belong together and how they
exactly
match, in terms of their composition. Cool. Yeah, it's the two. Everybody's
all right.
two.
We're keeping this one then. I'm glad. Also, I mean, I would have probably stick with this one, even if everybody voted for the other one. I'm not sure. All right. We're getting there with gradients. I think we're gonna end up wrapping up with gradients today, might be the thing. And then the rest of it will be tomorrow. I don't know how we're doing with time.
Yeah, we have about a minute of time. So let's wrap it up. Let's sum up real quick what we did today. Andrea started by kind of implementing her sketches into Illustrator, and then drawing them all out, then applying gradients, and really seeing if there how much detail should be applied to to all the different objects. And it's so cool that you all have helped us decide all of these things. I think it's really fun to have this interactive way of designing together.
Definitely.
So Andrea, what are the steps for tomorrow? What are we going to be doing
tomorrow? So tomorrow we're going to finish the third postcard. I can bring up the sketch again so that maybe, a ver.
Really quickly, we have to wrap up.
This. Okay, so we're going to be working on this tomorrow. We're going to finish this up, and then we're going to take everything to Photoshop, where we're going to add textures and my favorite noise. And it will just bring everything together and give it a little bit of imperfection so that it's just more interesting. Yeah.
Yes. So excited for tomorrow. Thanks everybody for tuning in today. Make sure to follow Andrea on Instagram, and also make sure to stay tuned for the next show. We're going to be back tomorrow, same time, same place, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. So wherever you are, make sure to stay tuned, and also tune in back tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Thank you.